One of our readers, let's call her Florence, shared with us her painful story of debt and overspending. Fresh out of university, Florence landed her first job in a financial institution that paid her a gross salary of 80,000 Kenya shillings. One of the biggest perks that came with the job was access to low-interest staff loans. She took advantage of the opportunity and took a loan of 500,000 Kenya shillings. So with this money, she bought herself a second-hand car. So the interest rate of the loan was 9% per annum. So every month, a deduction of 11,100 was made for the repayment of her loan. Then she moved out into a very posh estate where she was paying 35,000 Kenya shillings of rent every month. Remember that this 80,000 was gross and there were tax deductions, monthly rent, a deduction of the loan which was 11,100 and car maintenance costs such as fuel on top of her other needs. After paying for all these expenses, she struggled to make her ends meet. So by mid-month, she was borrowing from mobile loan apps and some of her friends for her survival. Her debt cycle continued to deepen. With all these expenses, she still had a standard to keep of maintaining her soft life. When she couldn't maintain it, she got so stressed such that she was not very productive at her workplace, and this made her lose her job. No savings and rising debt forced her to move out of her house and sell her car at a throwaway price, and she had to start life from scratch. Here are some lessons we can learn from Florence. Number one is to live below your means. If you want to create wealth, it is important that you spend less than you earn. Secondly, if you take a loan, make sure that it's not for consumption, but rather for an investment such as a business. Number three is to budget and save. It is important to plan your money well and ensure that a percentage of your salary goes to your savings. Also, it is important you save for big purchases. Instead of making a purchase you cannot afford, you should save for it. Lastly, have an emergency fund, and this will help you in emergencies such as losing your job. If you have an interesting money story, share it to us through editor@money254.co.ke.